Hi folks, HR Funk here, out on the range on a cold and snowy December day here in Ohio to bring you part 2 of my video comparison between the classic P35 Browning High Power and the brand new FN Model 509. Now back in the shop during part 1 of this video, we looked at all the X's and O's in the terms of design and features of both pistols, but today out here on the range, the rubber meets the road. I'm going to be shooting these two pistols side by side through my usual pistol testing battery, meaning I'm going to be testing them both for mechanical accuracy, for practical accuracy during shooting drills. I hear a rumor there might be a water bottle desperado or two around here that we're going to need to fend off, and there might even be a rogue thumbtack here or there that we're going to have to take on with each of these pistols. At the end, I want to try to determine whether or not the High Power is still the premier FN produced military handgun, or if it has actually been supplanted by its successor, the Model 509. So sit back and relax, here we go, and we're going to take a look at these two FN produced military pistols and see which one is the best. During today's evaluation, along with testing the accuracy and shootability of both pistols, I'm also going to be testing the functional reliability with different types of ammunition. I have 3 different bullet weights and 3 different bullet configurations that I'm going to be shooting through the pistol. I have 115 grain Remington full metal jacket ammunition. I've got some 124 grain Speer Gold Dot ammunition, and I've got 147 grain Winchester Rangers. So I'm going to see how the pistols perform with both of those types of ammunition, and also we're doing a little bit of an adverse conditions test. It's not absolute Arctic conditions out here today, but it is cold. It's in the low 20s here today, with the wind chill somewhere down in the teens or maybe even the single digits. So we're going to get to see how the pistols perform in these conditions with the different types of ammunition. And I'm set up and ready to go. First up is going to be a 30-foot accuracy drill, and I'm going to start with the Model 509 since it's the contender to the throne, and we're going to see what type of accuracy I can eke out of it from this distance. Now you may recall I did this in my original review of the Model 509, and I was not all that impressed with the accuracy that I was getting, but I've been shooting the pistol a little bit more and I've been working with it a little bit more, and I'll see if I can do a little bit better today. Well, group-wise, 3 out of those 5 shots are looking pretty good, but I've got 2 of them that dropped low, and I still am hitting off to the left. Now, I have not adjusted the sight since before when I was shooting this, partly because the last shot that I had in that first evaluation video was one of the thumbtack shots, and I did zap that thing. So I thought maybe it was just me, but no, it looks like the sights really are off to the left. And altogether, my 5-shot group with the 509 is still not terribly impressive. By the way, folks, I didn't mention it before I shot that first 5 shots with the Model 509, but the ammunition that I'm using for the accuracy drill is the 115 grain Remington full metal jacket ammo. So now we'll try the same drill with the P35 and see how it does. Folks, maybe I'm just off to the left today. Now, I did have one shot. It was the second or third one that went off a little bit before I was ready. My hands are cold out here, and my trigger finger is cold. And apparently I had a little bit more pressure on it than I realized and brought it off to the left a little bit. I've got two of them that are 10s and X's, and the group altogether is much better than it was with the Model 509. So at least for mechanical accuracy to this point, the high power is going to be the winner. And I've now moved back to 50 feet, and I'm going to be shooting at a human silhouette this time. What I'm going to be doing with each pistol from this distance is firing 10 rounds, and I'm going to pick up the shot tempo a little bit and just start to get an idea of the shootability of each one compared to the other. I'm also going to be shooting now with my gloves on. The Model 509 has a large enough trigger guard that I can easily manipulate the trigger with gloves, and we're going to see if I can do the same when I shoot the P35. And in a continuing pattern, we see all of those shots from 50 feet off to the left, including two of them that are out here in the shoulder. So I'm going to have to address these sights. I don't think this is all just me, but I'm going to try the high power next, and if nothing else, I'll look at the group from the high power as opposed to the group that I just see with the 509, and we'll compare those and see how it does. And here we go from 50 feet with the P35. And that, folks, is why the P35 high power has been popular for over 80 years. That beautifully centered group right in the middle of the chest, all 10 shots, and it didn't even seem all that hard to put them there. The extreme pointability of this pistol and the single action trigger is what allows a shooter to do this. And one of the things that I continue to deal with the 509, and you can see the tape here from where those shots were, is that stagey and inconsistent trigger, and that, along with the sights, is really causing me some accuracy problems. Okay, folks, I'm changing drills and changing ammunition. I'm going to be moving on to a failure drill from 20 feet. From this distance, I'm going to be firing 2 shots to the body and 1 shot to the head in rapid succession, and I'm also switching over to the 124 grain Spear Gold Dot ammunition. Now, this is a plus P rated load, so I'm going to be using that in both pistols, and I realize the P35 is not rated for plus P, but I don't think a few rounds are going to do it any harm. So I'm going to try this with both pistols, and we'll see how they do on this more defensive-oriented drill. All right, folks, the body shots are in the body and the head shots are in the head with the 509, but just as I noted in my original evaluation of this pistol, because of the trigger, I really have to concentrate on my sights and my trigger press to make sure these shots go where they're supposed to go. So we're going to switch over now to the P35 and see how it does on this drill. Even with gloves on, folks, even from that distance, the high power continues to impress. Great 3-shot group in the head there. Body shots were easily kept center chest. And again, that's the reason this pistol has been so popular for so long. Okay, folks, we are up to the multiple adversary drill. In this drill, I'm going to fire 1 shot at the target on the right, 3 shots at the target on the left, and then 2 more shots at the target on the right, all in rapid succession. Again, I'm starting with the Model 509, and again, I'm also changing ammunition. This time, I'm using the 147 grain Winchester Ranger, and we'll see how it does in both pistols. All right, folks, on that drill, all the shots stayed where they were supposed to in the body. This one tried to make it off the target here, but it stayed in there. Again, the biggest thing I notice with the 509 is that I have to work harder to keep these shots where they're supposed to be than I do with the high power. But that said, let's give this drill a try with the P35 and see how it does. And here we go with the same drill and the same ammunition with the P35. By the way, all the shooting I've done so far with my gloves on have been no problem whatsoever with the P35. So even though I think the 509 was engineered with a bigger trigger guard to accommodate gloved hands, the P35 seems to do just fine. And accuracy-wise, folks, I don't think that drill gets much better. I've got 3 shots dead center chest here, 2 dead center chest on this target, one of them just a little bit low, but again, altogether, all 6 of these shots are looking very good. I am shooting it a little slower, I think, today than I usually do. Part of that's probably because I'm wearing gloves, but again, the high power definitely was easier to shoot this drill, and the shots hit more accurately than they did with the 509. All right, folks, time for a real challenge for our 2 FN produced Marshall pistols. Water bottle Desperados from 35 feet. Let's see how they do. By the way, I'm still using the 147 grain Winchester Ranger ammunition. Well, folks, it took an extra shot, but the 509 was up to the Water Bottle Desperado challenge. Now let's try it with the P35. And as is so often the case, folks, one of the Desperados made a break for it, but we got him in the end. And it was 3 Desperados for 4 shots with the high power also. I actually thought I missed that second Desperado until I checked the bottle and there was a hole through it and the water was gone. So again, 3 Desperados for 4 shots with the P35. All right, folks, it's the moment of truth for our 2 FN warriors. I've got 2 thumbtacks in my target 20 feet away, 1 in each shoulder, and we're going to see which of these, or if either one of them, is up to the thumbtack challenge. I've got each pistol loaded with 3 rounds. Let's see how they do. And the 509 is our first contestant today in the thumbtack challenge. Let's see how it does. Ooh. Again, off to the left and low with the 509. Watch my trigger finger closely as I'm squeezing this and see how much movement you see before the trigger actually breaks. Got one more try for the 509. And no thumbtack today for the 509. Let's try the P35. And here we go, a thumbtack from 20 feet with the P35 high power. That one was me, folks. I saw the sight drop just before the shot fired. Otherwise, that was a pretty good shot. And yes, the P35 high power is a tack driver. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this final target pretty well tells the story of this comparison. We can see the 3 shots here from the 509. They're all touching, so at least I managed to keep them together, but they're all low and to the left, and a lot of it is a result of that trigger. Here we had 1 shot. This was my fault. Had I managed to not pull that down on the very first shot, I might have zapped that thumbtack first shot out of the magazine. But as it was, I got it with the second one, and again, that came with the venerable P35 high power pistol. I don't know about you folks, but I think the 80-year-old P35 high power just smoked the upstart Model 509 in a head-to-head shoot-off. In pretty much every stage along the way, the high power outshot the 509. Now, that's not to say the 509 is a bad pistol, and it does have a lot of nice modern features that the high power doesn't have. It has the equipment rail, it has the luminescent sights. One of the things that I forgot to mention in the shop when I was comparing the 2 pistols is the ambidextrous nature of the 509 with the double-sided slide stop and also a magazine release on either side of the pistol. But even so, when it comes to just putting bullets on targets, the high power does it as well today as it has ever done. It's almost like the hand of John Browning guides each and every bullet and takes them right to where they need to go. And that's just something you don't get with the Model 509. Now, both pistols performed flawlessly today out here on the range with all the different types of ammunition that I used, and under these conditions that I'm shooting in, there was not a single malfunction. So that is a testament to both pistols. But something else you get with the high power that you don't get with the 509, and you really don't get it with a lot of modern day pistols, is just that chic sense of cool that comes from the P35. When I was preparing to come out here today and I was thinking about this comparison between the 509 and the high power, I thought, you know, this is a little bit like comparing Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator to Sean Connery's James Bond. Both are certainly lethal, but the Terminator is just never going to have that chic sense of sexy cool that you get from 007. Sorry, Arnie. But in any regard, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those below. I always enjoy the feedback from you folks. And as always, until next time, good shooting. Bye-bye.